Hey everyone, I'm here with the directors of Top Knot Detective. So tell me more about this project.
So Top Knot Detective started as a web series originally. It was a Japanese samurai kind of like looking back at this old 1990s TV series that never really existed in the first place. Kind of began with a party at a place that Dom used to live at, and we were just talking about our mutual love of the 90s and like 90s cinema, and we were always going like, could we make a Japanese series? Could we do it in Japanese? And we came up with the title first, and from then we made the film. It took 3 years, but we made the film. Yeah.
So what was the casting process like?
So the casting process was a little hard. In Perth, where we're from, in Western Australia, there's not a large Japanese contingent of actors. So it was very much about trying to get people from the eastern states to come over. The main actor was not really an actor at all, Toshi. He was an English teacher, or he taught Japanese in Australia, which was nice. And
We kind of threw him in the deep end.
yeah, he was very much thrown in the deep end. And then Masa Yamaguchi, who plays the main antagonist in it, he was in the Wolverine and Ghost in the Shell and Hacksaw Ridge.
So can you tell me like what your goals were with your character, your main character, and what you want them to portray the best for the audience?
Yeah, Dom, do you want to?
Yeah, what did we want to... Oh, there have been a lot of very bizarre celebrity types in the history of cinema, and you'll find in this industry particularly, there are always these very crazy, ideas-driven, borderline sociopathic kind of people who are very good at their jobs, but often very horrible people in the process, or very weird people in the process. We were very much channeling people, not saying that he's a horrible guy, but channeling people like Tommy Wiseau from The Room when we were trying to design and write and build the character of Takashi Takamoto. But he's one of those people that just has crazy ideas and he will stop at nothing to see them made, and we just kind of wanted to explore those kind of characters, I think, because a lot of the time they are still human, they just have a very weird way of going about things. So I think that's what we were kind of trying to explore with that.
I mean, it's also like we're making a fake documentary as well, so you have to kind of like build this reality that everyone remembers hanging around with this person. Even when you're interviewing real people, it's sort of like feeding them enough of the lines of like, oh, you remember this, like talk about a real individual that you know about. Yes. And then let's like bring that to this fake person. So every time you're thinking about that, just say this name instead, which helped us with the reality of creating a fake documentary about it, a show that never existed.
So what was like your goals for the costumes?
It's very much to be as authentic as it could be to very cheap 90s samurai TV. There's a show that was a big influence called Aberembo Shogun, which it ran for about 870-something episodes in Japan. It was over a 20-year sort of period. But because it's made for TV and it's turned around quite quick, all the costumes are quite cheap looking, but still kind of like, you know, the artistry is there.
Yeah.
So when we first went to Japan, we bought a lot of kimonos and we bought a lot of tabi shoes, things that we knew we couldn't get back in Australia. And then we kind of made replicas of things or restyled things or found some places, Japanese societies, which had like, there's lots of costumes that we got through there and lots of kind of kimonos that we got through there as well.
Yeah, from the Kimono Society in Perth. I mean, look, fundamentally, we're trying to tell a story in another country, in another place, in another time, so it was just really important to us as much as we could, obviously without being there, that we get those little details right. So obviously all the Japanese people who end up watching our film know that we were trying, at least, to get it as spot on, trying.
We do have another project coming up that we can't talk too much about.
Okay.
But then, you know, we want to play around in different spheres as well. Like, this is a mockumentary, but we both love so many different genres. We want to play doing some sci-fi. We want to do some regular drama. We want to play in comedy. And we want to play around in different areas and not be locked into one little box of, you're the mockumentary guys.
Yeah.
So,
We've ended up doing a few of these things now, and that wasn't our intent. We just seem to have a flair for it, but we're definitely not trying to be like, we're the mockumentary guys. Yeah. We're cooking up. We got some sci-fi things cooking. There is
a documentary.
There's another documentary. Yeah, there's another mockumentary.
Okay, we're the mockumentary.
Yeah, we're the mockumentary. There is also there's also possibly potentially we've been looking into playing around with a spin-off series for Top Knot, something that goes along with some of the sci-fi portions of the show. That if people here at Fantastic Fest find this whole thing bizarre and funny enough, might be something. But yeah, we'll have to see.